Yes. It was a beautiful day. It's gonna be a beautiful night.
Welcome back, y'all. We got another legendary episode. Krazy Drayz from Drayz EFX in the building, boy. Champagne and conversations. Turn up. Let's go.
What's up, Krazy Drayz? Welcome to Champagne and Conversations.
What's good? What's good? Thanks for having me. It's my honor. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Wait,
you called
we
me
gotta tell you, happy birthday.
Oh yeah, my birthday's coming up. It's on the 9th.
Yes, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Virgo's in the building, and yes, guys, get the
you had
googly
one too, right? You had one too, right?
It's coming, the 20th.
Right. Well, happy birthday to you too.
Thank you. How dope is this? Virgo season, and we're talking to the legend, the Virgo. Yes, I am so excited to have guys. Krazy Drayz from Drayz EFX is in the building.
You already know what's crackulating. I'm here.
Yes, and look, I should have put a little iggity diggity whatever to that. I'm sorry. I'm
all
trying.
Good. All good.
Yeah. So what's up? I understand that you were just finishing your new podcast. So congratulations on that.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I got a new podcast. It's called the Producers Podcast. I know everybody and their mama in my position starting the podcast, doing the podcast. But
right.
Yeah, I started this podcast. It was a brainchild of mine for about a year, and just needed the right time to find the right team. So I was put in contact with a bunch of guys, and we're making it happen. My first guest was Havoc from Mobb Deep. So
nice.
I feel the reason why I started it is because as a rapper, as an artist, we always get the light. You do an album, they want to interview you. How was it doing the album? Who would you work with? And a lot of the producers just get mentioned, you know what I'm saying, and never really get a chance to step up to the microphone or to the camera. So that's what I wanted to do. The Producers Podcast, hear their stories, what songs that we love almost didn't get made.
Right.
What's the story behind this song or that song? And, so just something to, be a little different.
I was going to say, you're different with that. That's a great lane to be in.
Mm-hmm.
We love to shine the light on those, like you said, on the other side. And as of now, as Timberland would say, the producers matter for real. So that's a great that's probably one you should have on your podcast.
I'm hoping to get it to, my ultimate get is guys like Quincy Jones, you know what I'm saying? And because of course I don't want to just confine it to hip hop. Of course, the Swiss beats and but I need, of course, I need diversity. I need Missy on the show, from a female's perspective as a producer. I need Tim and Bob who did, Cisco and countless others. I need the guys. What's my guys who did Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation? I need those guys.
Jimmy Jam.
I need Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. You understand? So so I want to just, because for me, like I said, especially as a rapper, when you hear a song, first thing that comes to my mind, or if not the second thing, is damn, who did this beat?
Right.
Because I want to beat like that,
Right.
So it just led down that hole,
Yes. I loved how you were naming all the VA folks as producers and those folks that you want on the show.
Of course.
Yes. And guys, you all know Drayz EFX was it. Well, I guess you all attended Virginia State University, was in Virginia, and I love how you give a shout out to VA in a lot of your different interviews that I was able to kind of take a look at. So shout out to Virginia State.
Yeah, I got love for VA. I got love for the whole Virginia area, period. Richmond, Hampton, Norfolk. Those were my stomping grounds for 3 good years of my life going to college, so, and then to get discovered in Richmond was, you know what I'm saying? So, I love VA. I love VA. Richmond
Yes.
is my place. Hampton, used to love going to Hampton, hanging out at the colleges, going to all the homecomings.
Norfolk,
You already
Hampton.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Old
We had a
Dominion,
ball.
Old Dominion. Yeah, I love VA.
Yes, we party, guys. We party. Das
Yeah,
Effects was definitely the party starter.
and all the spring breaks that were down in Virginia Beach, and I was there. I was there riding up and down the strip.
We all were, that. And then, since then, Pharrell started something in the water about 2 or 3 years ago. And unfortunately, with everything that's going on, I think it only took life maybe 1 year or so. But looking forward to that returning as well.
That
That's
was like
probably grown version of what we
that
were
was like
doing.
a festival.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
dope and it was real fly and sexy. I call it now the grown end of Virginia Beach.
mm,
Yeah, and so it was really nice. I know, off camera, you and I were talking about concerts, but that is definitely a place to consider because during the summer, Virginia Beach does a whole live, concert series.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'd love to get at Pharrell too. He's a you can't put I used to work with Teddy Riley too. Not to name drop, but
Yes,
I was working with Teddy Riley a few years back on some music as well. And yeah, it's just guys like that I would love to have on the show.
well, you have spoken it and it will happen for sure. I love it. I love the energy. It'll definitely be a dope vibe and any encouraging parts that we can add to that from Champagne and Conversations, we're definitely sending those your way.
I appreciate you.
Yes. And listen, I'm gonna also put in that I would love to see a concert with you, well, with Das Effects and Lords. I don't know if you would put a little bit of Onyx in there or something, but I'd love to see it.
We all, what's crazy is we do shows together all the time in Europe. Onyx,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of us are on the same bills. Lords, Onyx and Lords just did a few shows
sure.
prior to COVID. So I think it's something that has to do with the promoters over here in the States, because it's something that's not happening, but in Europe, forget it. We're always doing shows together.
It's
Us,
always
MLB,
happening.
yeah, we're always doing shows together over in Europe. So, I love Europe, but I'm one of those. I'm pushing for more shows in the States.
Yes. Tell them call me. We're gonna push
Shorter
for that.
flight time, shorter flight time.
And we need it. We love hip hop, so we want it here as well. I guess it's just in planning, but definitely after the COVID and all of that, I think people are more ready for something different.
That'll work. So am I.
Yes, absolutely. So talk to us about what you have been working on in the interim. I know that you're working on the podcast, and
Mhm.
what else do you have? Oh, well, you have your product line.
Oh yeah, I mean, I linked up with some guys, and of
Hmm.
course, I'm a stoner like a lot of people, so I got my own weed line, my own strain. It's called Googly Goo.
Yes.
We got the packs right here. We got the pre-rolls right here. You know, I'm actually putting one in the air right now, but no, not to. This thing right here will knock you on your face. This thing will knock you on your face.
Googly goo.
It's so pretty. But
Yeah,
yeah, so I
and
linked up.
where can they find that? I mean,
Yeah,
you have to come to the dispensary to get it, correct?
correct. It's located in DC. It's called Lifted. It's Lifted Shop DC. So
Nice.
it's right
Is
across
that
the
where
street
you
from.
are?
No, I'm in Maryland, which is
Okay,
yeah,
close
only
enough.
yeah, it's only an hour's drive from me. So, I pop
Hmm.
up in the dispensary from time to time, hang around in the corner. If they recognize me, they do. If they don't, I say, hey, that's my stuff. You need to check this out.
That's cool. Yes.
So,
And how long
you
have
know,
you had that line?
we've only gotten it off the ground. I just had my launch about 2 weeks ago.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yay.
I appreciate it. We're working on the second one now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, I mean, is that curating of the line, is that a lot like you would just curate you know, anything else, a clothing line or whatever?
Yep.
Do you come up with a concept and?
Yep. You go through different, you know, flowers and different this and different that. Like if you're coming up with your own perfume line or a cologne line, you know, hey, does this work with that or this work with this? And then, you know, do you want a strain that's going to make people sleepy, or do you want a strain that's going to make people energetic and active? And so it's a lot that goes into it. You're basically walking into a room with a bunch of guys in lab coats.
Nice. Okay.
And then you just take it from there. So that's kind of what I did. It took a little process, and but it was fun, and that's why I'm doing it again too, you know.
Yeah. Well, if it's what you love, that's not work at all. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's so
So
dope. And then you said you're working on your second line. So when do you anticipate that one coming?
that one, you know, because it takes a while. So we're hoping
Okay.
sometime next year, you know. Yeah, it takes a while to get the right thing together. So it's going to take a while. This is still a baby. You know, we call it GG for short. So GG's, this is still a baby, this thing. And I'm telling you, not because it's mine, but 29% THC. This thing is going to, I'm an OG, okay? I don't even need it that strong, okay?
Uh-huh.
And it's going to put you like, hey, I can paint this mural now.
So now, can you take what you have and put it as an edible? Are you doing any of that as well?
Correct. We're gonna, and
Okay.
that's what I mean why it's fresh. You know, it's so new. So we haven't even spread the tentacles out into the edibles yet. But you know, we're definitely gonna get some edibles out here.
Yeah. Okay. So where
Is that your flavor of choice? Do you partake? And if so, is that how you partake?
No, I have not ever. But
Okay.
look, don't let me be the killjoy and not do the commercial because I know that, you know, a lot of people enjoy it. A girlfriend of mine was beginning to add it to her cupcake line. So maybe I need to put you all together.
For
Um,
sure. For
for
sure.
that. So, I mean, you know, I understand that. I just wondered if it was the same curating process as it is for, you know, some of the things that, you know, everyone else does when in development.
Definitely is. Probably
Yes.
even more.
I do
Yeah.
have cigars, so it's close. You get a little bit of a high from the
Oh
cigar.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I understand. Don't worry.
Mhm. So
And
other
then,
than that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. And I was going to say, so where can they find you though? Do you have the address? We want us to post that later so that they can come
Yeah,
see?
you know,
Okay.
the best thing I say is I don't have the address in front of me, but what I tell
Okay.
people is it's the Lifted Shop located in DC, right across the street from Howard University.
Oh, well, you can find it.
You're gonna find it
That is the spot
right there. You're gonna be like, oh, right there. You know,
right there.
can't miss it
Cool.
basically. So, you know,
That is cool.
Go down Georgia Ave, go to Howard. You're gonna be like, oh, that's where it's at, right there. You know.
So cool. Are you working on any new music right now, or is this keeping you busy?
Yeah, we're working on new music, and it's not necessarily for ourselves. It's for 50s Raising Canaan series
Nice.
on Star.
Congratulations. Okay.
So we got a call from some dudes over there that they're always looking for new music for the show, whether it's for Raising Canaan or for Power
Right.
or for any of the spin-off shows. They're always looking for new material. So we got
Cool.
a call from the guys, and that's what we've been working on now for about a week and a half. I'm here trying to, you know, it's basically you watch the show or the episodes and you basically put down what you're seeing on paper.
Yeah.
So it's not basically about my life. It's not a punchline song they want. They don't want anything. They want something content for the show that's talking about the show, you know, what you're watching. So that's
So
what we've been doing.
what's the flow? Are you giving us the DOS effects flow? Or are you giving us the
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
are okay.
the flow is I had to, you know, work with the beats that I was given as well. So the beats kind of let you know what you can and can't do, you know. So if it was a beat that was for a DOS effects project, we would select certain type of beats that give us a certain type of bounce and flow. But being that, you know, we've been contracted to do this, you know, we didn't have really much say, oh, so these are the tracks that were presented, which are good tracks. You know, so yeah, we're gonna keep it as much our flow, but like I said, the content won't be, you know, that's not necessarily what we rhyme about. Like, you know, we're getting bricks and about to flood the block, and we got beef, and you know, we got to stack these cakes, and you know, there's powder, and you know, Southside Jamaica Queens, and you know, that's all that stuff we have to implement into the record. Our connect, our new connect, you know, all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
We got all the inside scoop, guys.
You know, so
Yes, thank you.
you know, so that's what we've
That's
been
super
working.
dope. And it's definitely timely for, this, what's going on and, keeping you really, really in the mix. So that's so dope. Um,
Mm-hmm.
now I want to ask you, I heard you speak of, and very often, people will ask, what would you tell your young self? What would yourself today tell your young self? But I wanted to ask you, as it related to your sound, I know you guys changed it a bit once you got past your sophomore album, I believe.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that? Like after, even though that was the suggestion just to give it a different, give you all a different presence, do you feel like you should have just kept your junior and senior album the same?
No, not really. It's one of those things where we didn't even have a choice because you know, when you're a creator, you're not still creating. You don't want to create the same stuff you've been creating. If you're a stylist, you don't want to keep styling even yourself or the people you've been styling for 3 years the same way. Styles change. You want to adapt and change, you know?
Right.
So yeah, it wasn't because to me that'll be gimmicky if we're just holding on to something just because we think we should hold on to that. A lot of people don't know it was organic for us. Our Iggity
Okay.
style, look,
Hmm.
everything was just organic.
Okay.
And so for us, no, it's similar to, let's say, like we've had discussion with Onyx, T-Pain. It's should you guys have stopped yelling? T-Pain, should you have stopped using the auto tune?
Right.
You know, so it's just natural. You know, it's not even an Onyx. Let them tell it. They didn't start yelling because they think it would be cool to start yelling. That's how they would naturally just rhyme it.
Just naturally loud.
It
Okay.
was just naturally loud and naturally that was the vibe, that was the mood. And as you
Right.
go on, maybe you don't want to yell. Maybe you want to yell, half yell. Maybe you know, so it's just a natural progression, and that's kind of what it felt like for us. It was we had a big discussion with the record label at the time. Should we stay in the sewer? Should we? I'm like, we're not gonna stay in the sewer every time, every video, you know. So that's why we chose to say, yo, we're not in the sewer anymore, and you know, just natural progression, you know.
I love that. Now, speaking of the sewer, you just led me right into my next question. What was the ideology of the sewer? Is that just like what we call the trenches in terms of, the grind every day? What was the ideology of sewer?
It was it was a metaphor for everyone is saying, you know, I'm from the underground, you know, because
Okay.
that's what the 90s was. Yo, I'm an underground rapper, you know.
Okay. All right.
So as opposed to just saying I'm an underground rapper, we wanted
Sure.
to really just show it. And that was artistic part, you know. That was,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we sat around and we said, oh, you know, it'd be cool, man. You know, because we were big on metaphors and you know, big on acronyms like the name DOS stands for Dre and Scoob, and the effects is because we
Mm-hmm.
used to like a lot of effects on our vocals. So, you know, we play in that area. Like, so okay, if we say um, you know, like cellar to the attic, we mean there's two ways it means, you know, from, you know, the cellar downstairs to the attic, but it's from a seller's point of view, whether you're selling music and the fan is an addict. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we like to play around with shit like that. So back to the underground was like, oh, what'd be doper than just saying we're from the underground? Let's go to the underground in the fucking sewer, you know?
The sewer.
And it just so happens the way we dressed was the way we dressed. We always had Timbs, we always had whole hearts, you know, so it just, you know, you see it's lightning in a bottle, one of those things, you know?
Yes, and it was that grunge look that was taken off in the 90s. Which is one of the other things that I was going to ask is you all use a lot of nursery rhymes. You used a lot of I mean just Daddy Warbucks, Peter Pan. I mean, just all of those things. And I wanted to find out what was that, you know, where were you all pulling that inspiration? Was that stuff that you enjoyed as a child, or it was just, you know, just you thought it would just be a good
metaphors, just metaphors from our growing up. We're all from, if I was gonna say something and try to use a metaphor, I wouldn't use a metaphor that I wouldn't use a metaphor right now that your kids, or if I don't know if you have kids or I don't have kids, but let's say someone in their 20s right now, I wouldn't use a metaphor that they grew up on cartoon wise, because I don't know what that cartoon is. I can't relate to them in that way. So the only reason why we use things like Daddy Warbucks is because that's what we all grew up on. One, we were just referring to our generation of what we grew up on, and two, as MCs, we just wanted to be creative and say our whole thing is, did you hear what he said and how he said it? So instead of saying I have a lot of bucks, you just say I have, you know, Daddy Warbucks, or you know, like Daddy, you know, just because we know MCs, we all listen to it's partly how you said it, but a lot of it is what you're saying.
Sure.
You know,
and the flow in which you're delivering it, of course, is how we really got it. I mean, I'm one that studies lyrics, so I'm always going back to see what it's about. But yeah, I mean, when you went from the thigh bone is connected to the knee bone, I'm like, oh, we're getting some education here too. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're trying. Trust me, we're not known for. We're no social content kind of guys. We're not, you know, guys that's speaking on, you know, social times and mediators and reporters of what's going on the street. You know, even though, you know, and it's funny because, but that's, you know, that's a lane right there, you know.
Absolutely. And it was entertainment. That was what you guys were delivering.
Yeah, we just wanted to entertain in our way, you know.
In your way. And it was definitely timely, because for whatever reason it was over a dope track. So it just really came off like you wanted it, or like we wanted to hear it. Regardless, I don't think times were as stressful in the 90s, it seems, as it is now. What do you think?
It's always been stressful.
Really? You think so?
Cops always been beating people up. There's always been
within that, yes.
There's always been shit going on outside, you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
We used to have a good time when we came out.
Now,
and
trust
the value of $1 was different also.
Now, I know what you mean in terms of good times, because my favorite era and time of hip hop was the 80s, though.
Okay.
You know, I'm from the 90s. I love the 90s. I love doing the shows, and I know everybody call hip hop from the 90s the golden era, but for me, my era is the 80s. I've been on the bill with some guys from the 80s, and they know how to party.
And what did you love? Who did you love in the 80s?
Just, you know, anybody. Sugar Hill Gang, Kool Moe D. Oh my God. Just, you know, Houdini.
Yeah.
Their shows are just more, Dougie Fresh. You can't play around with Dougie Fresh. Yeah, you can't mess around with their party records. They just feel better, you know, for me, you know, and that's saying a lot because I'm from the 90s and there are some big records in the 90s.
But we know what you're saying. I mean, we all grew up in the 80s, even if we partied in the club in the 90s. But yes, the inspiration for sure, you know, 70s and 80s.
Right.
because I mean I love Planet Rock and I
Right,
love Sugar Hill
right,
Gang.
right,
My
right.
hip hop to hippity. Oh, I could do that part. That's close to what you all do.
Correct, correct. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
but yeah, I love the 90s. It was a fun time. Wouldn't trade it, you know.
Yes, yes, it was definitely a great time. So now, with everything that's going on in the world, how have you been, in terms of your family and such? Everybody been fine as we
Yeah,
deal with
we're
COVID?
chilling. We're chilling. I mean, we
Okay.
lost, my wife lost her aunt to COVID.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I appreciate it. That was crazy. I'm one of those where, I'm vaccinated up,
Yes,
masked up,
yes.
so I'm not gonna, it was too much. And then for traveling for my job, which I haven't been to Europe anyway since the pandemic, but I just went and got it, just in case, because any little things come up, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm not vaccinated or this or that. So
They
I
can't
weighed my
go, right?
options. Yeah, I weighed my options, played it back, and got my shit. So, you
No
know,
doubt. Yes.
yeah.
What is your favorite place abroad to have performed? I know you're doing some recording abroad as well. So where do you like to go?
Um, it's I would say maybe for it would have to be for if I'm gonna go for like trees or whatever, it has to be the Netherlands, because
Okay.
the smoke in there is off the chain. It's everybody and their mama smoking, the pilot of the plane is smoking.
It's a party.
Yeah, it's a party in the Netherlands. So I
Yes.
love going to the Netherlands in terms of smoking, but in terms of shows, they all just run concurrent to me, because Europe, have you ever been?
No, I have not. I was looking forward to it in the upcoming year, I
Okay,
guess, because we have not been able to get away. But oddly enough, I have been putting the passport off for a while and finally did it before COVID. So I'm
okay,
ready.
okay. Well, when you go to a hip hop show in Europe, you'll
Yes,
remember your hip hop show because it's an event, There's no coolness, nobody's there to look cute, nobody's there to be hard. It is a party, and they
it's a
want you
party.
to perform for 2, if not 3 hours.
Nice.
They're fine with it. From the moment you step on stage, they're giving you all their energy, and you better
Yes,
come to perform. This is not a walk across the stage, look down at your feet for an hour. They don't want that.
they want a party.
They want to come on stage. They want you to come in the crowd. They want to rhyme with you. They want to break dance. They want to pop and lock. They want to
Love
do
it.
graffiti. They want to show you their clothes. They want you to sign it. They want
Yes,
pictures. It's not a just come in the building, get my money, and leave the building. It's not going to happen like that unless you're going to just totally destroy your credibility with them.
yes.
You
That
know,
is
so
so cool.
when you go on tour in Europe, you're going on tour in Europe. You
Well
know,
received. Yes. I
yeah.
know Germany was a big place years ago when I actually was working with a few artists that was a big
We're huge
um
in Germany. Yeah, we're
entertain.
huge in
Yeah.
Germany because the name Das is a German word. It means the.
Yeah.
So the first time we went to Germany in the 90s, we saw Das written all over the place. We were like, what the hell's going on here?
Yes.
And then obviously we learned it means the. So in Germany, they think our name is the effects.
That's it. The
So
effect. It works, right?
it works. It works.
No
So
doubt.
don't go to Germany if your back is aching or your leg and you can't really perform. Forget about
Yeah, I heard
it.
that
Forget
it's definitely dope. And I hate that I missed the one or two times that they were going that I was going to go as well. So
about it.
that and Japan is another place that I understand they really, really party. We've
Same,
had
same,
yeah.
same.
Australia. Have you been?
Yes, I've been to
Okay.
Australia. Been to 2 parts of Australia. It was just far.
Yeah.
That was my only thing with Australia. I mean, the plane was huge. It's like one of those go upstairs, come downstairs
Oh,
plane.
yes. Yes.
Go go to sleep, wake up, watch
Right.
a movie, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep. It was just too long for me.
Right.
So
Yes.
I'm good with my whole thing is that if it's over 6 hours, then I'm like, oh man, come
You're
on.
thinking about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
listen, when I was in my 20s, put me on a flight. I've been partying all night. Where are we? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, how many hours? You know, by 10:30, I'm asleep, right?
That's all you have to do is light up a bit, get yourself right, and you can sleep a while, right?
True. But you know, the thing is, people don't know. I was just telling my sister, today is what, Tuesday?
Yes.
It's like this. If I have a show Friday in Switzerland, I got to leave tonight.
Right.
You know, I got to leave tonight. The people at the show, they're not even thinking about Saturday yet. They chilling, but I have to start getting on the run and on the move now.
Sure.
Got to fly, get there by Thursday afternoon. Friday is a rest day.
Yes.
You know, Saturday it's I got to get to the venue. So for me, my work time starts 2 to 3 days before the prior event.
No doubt.
So that's what I mean by, like, you know, it's been a lot. You know, so I rather, hey, I got a show. Where is it? California? I'll take it. Where is it? You know, Boston? I'll take it. Texas? You know, I want to start doing some more local, you know, national shows as opposed to international. You know?
Yeah, a good mix of it, especially right now during this still mix of whatever we have going on. But yes, I guess at this point, anywhere that you can perform is a blessing, considering.
We just did Brooklyn last Sunday, Coney Island with Sonic.
Yes, how was it?
That was dope. It was us, Sonic, AZ, MOP,
Yes.
Master Ace, Smith and Wesson. It was dope. I like shows like that because it's a lot of us. We get to see our peers, and we don't have to do, you know, 2 hour, half an hour set. We can do 30 minutes. Now your turn. You go do 20 minutes. You know, we share the load, you know?
Did you and Smith and Wesson perform together?
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, we should have.
Yeah, you should have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had Tech on. So shout out to Tech for sure. And yeah, well, that's cool. And I've loved to watch the live shows that have been taking place, you know, the last couple of weeks. I haven't gotten the confidence yet to really get out just yet, but it's been good to just watch the clips.
You got your shot? Did you get your shot?
Yeah, I actually had it really early. I got it in well, late February, the first one, and then you know, the other one right after it. So I've had it for a while. It's just getting back out there, I guess. I gotta gotta work through a few things, but I'm ready.
Which one did you get?
The Moderna.
Okay, I got the Pfizer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staying away from that Johnson though, right?
Yeah. Well, at the time, I don't even know if that was being offered when I first got it. It was
you
only
got it
the first
early.
one. Yeah, I got it early.
Okay.
So it was kind of one of those things where I wasn't really sure about getting it. And when it came up for me to get it so early, I was like, okay, well, we know this is the divine speaking to me. Go. And he's saying go because we know you're about to move around. But look, I haven't even done much of it. But I will definitely. Yeah, I certainly am ready, and ready for the concert. So, how was it now? Were they wearing masks and such when you were performing?
No, because everyone that came through the door had to show proof that they were vaccinated, or if not, you had to take a COVID test.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone was just basically walking around freely.
See, I still don't trust it. I don't understand it. I'm thinking you still need to wear it, even if we are vaccinated.
Well, I mean, like I said, people had to show that they did not have it. Their test had to come back negative, you know? So I know there's false readings and all that stuff too. So anything is possible, you know?
No doubt, no doubt. We got
so a lot of it, yeah, you know. But, you know, you go and you know, you do what you got to do, you know?
Yes, and you all are definitely ready to do that because it's been a minute. So I get it. I definitely get it. Let everyone know where they can find you, social media, website, all that amazing stuff.
Yo, you can find me right there. My Instagram is, what is my Instagram? Krazy Drayz on Instagram. And our Instagram is official DasEFX or DasEFX official. You could tell me because I get it. We have a website and where you could buy merch. So we have a it's either, hold on, let me get it right, because one is called Das FX Official and the other one is Official Das FX, basically. So search them both.
They can find it.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll go out with your music that was on your Showtime album.
All right.
And then people can check you out from there. And of course, guys, we know Das FX. We know all of the albums that were before. Real Hip Hop also was another that I love as well. Shout out to Pete Rock for the remix of that.
Yeah.
There's another producer for you, right?
We worked with Instagram is Official Das FX.
Okay.
That's what it is. But yeah, we've worked with Pete Rock, we worked with Premier, all the heavyweights.
All the heavyweights, those are on your show. They're gonna all come to your show, your podcast.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, so we worked with those guys. I'm gonna have Derek, who a lot of people don't know, but he's part of the team that did our first album, Solid Scheme. So I mean, that's a no-brainer. I need the guys on that did our first album, Dead Serious.
Yes.
One of them has since passed away, so.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
We have to use, it's passed back in the 90s. So Derek, he lives out in California. He kind of transitioned from being a producer to, he works on shows like The Voice, The Mad Singer.
Okay.
Yeah, he does sound for those type of shows. So it's gonna be cool to interview Derek, kick it with him. He has a memory like an elephant. He can tell me, oh, don't you remember this happened during we were recording the album? And I'm like, what? Tell me, I forgot that. So,
yes.
So yeah, man, I'm just here, just trying to, with COVID, just trying to get my hands into some other things, So I appreciate the time, get my word out. Come check out my podcast. It's called The Producers Podcast, hosted by your man Krazy to the Drayz, Digger Das FX. First episode is Havoc of the Mighty Mobb Deep. The infamous Mobb Deep is dropping sometime early October.
So dope. And happy birthday, Virgo.
Yeah, 25, baby.
Yeah.
Double OK, L-Y, and I go Brooklyn all day. Go hard, I go home, yeah, that's what some say. I'm on my fresh, not to say, I mean, I do it my way. It's going down, May Day.